Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to the live. Welcome to the live. Thank you guys for coming down here to join me as I run my mouth. I see that a lot of things have popped off today, this evening, and I just wanted to talk about it. I got some reviews I know I got to get out, but I really wanted to, hey Shayna, I really wanted to talk about what's going on in the news, what I have seen. I'm not sure if you guys have seen it, some of the things, but I've seen some of the things. I think we should discuss it. I don't know about y'all, but I think we should. So let's do it. Hey, good evening, Symmetry. Good evening, good evening, good evening. And welcome, you guys. I want you to make sure that you comment, please like, please share, and please subscribe to the channel if you have not. Remember, all views expressed in this live, they're all alleged, even though they've all went through the court of law except one. They're all in my opinion, and they're all for entertainment purposes. Don't go out your way to dislike anybody, please. Fair use disclaimer. Some material in this video is used under U.S. Copyright Fair Use, Section 107, for purposes such as commentary, criticism, news reporting, and education. Today, I will be doing some news reporting, a lot of commentary, and a whole lot of criticism. Ciao, ciao, ciao. So, of course, I've been down there like everybody else, looking around on YouTube, following some court decisions online, and just doing all the things that everybody else has. I've been following the Stefan Diggs court decision, and y'all see it's over here. He was found not guilty. And I think I done pulled up the wrong thing. Let me get up out of this one and go to the right one. Stefan Diggs, in case you didn't know, was being sued by his chef. And the jury found him not guilty. He actually decided he wanted to be tried by a group of his peers, which was a jury. They found him not guilty after deliberating less than 90 minutes. Let's get into it. This article is coming out of thecourttv.com. Jury finds Stefan Diggs not guilty of criminal charges after trial. This happened in Massachusetts. Excuse me. After less than 90 minutes of deliberations, a Massachusetts jury found an NFL star not guilty of an attack on his personal chef. Y'all, when I tell you I'm not sure if you guys can see. Can y'all see it? Yeah, there it is. This actual court case was weird. To me, it was weird. The story never made a lot of sense. I just think I'm one of those kind of people that things have to make sense to me for me to even believe it or want to be a part of it. I am a girl's girl, and I try to believe all women, but you lose me when you say, oh, we had a relationship. So we're going to get into it, though. Stefan Diggs, 33 years old, was acquitted of felony charges of strangulation or suffocation and misdemeanor assault and battery following a trial that spanned 2 days. Diggs was initially charged in December of 2025 after his personal chef, Jamila Adams, said that, I know Jamila, that's why I almost said her last name. Jamila Adams said that a dispute turned physical inside his home. Diggs had denied all of the charges and accused Adams of fabricating the incident for financial gain. Adams had a difficult time during her testimony on the stand, struggling to answer questions posed by Diggs' defense about messages on her phone that were deleted and her behavior after the alleged attack. Adams admitted that she gave her boss a birthday gift less than 24 hours after the alleged incident. Chad, when I tell you she was up there fumbling and bumbling and being discombobulated, none of it made any sense. Adams and Diggs had allegedly been arguing over money when he came into her room, smacked her, and put her in a chokehold. Adams admitted she never sought any medical attention after the incident. She didn't seek no medical attention, but she sought some dineros. She wanted some moolah, some of that cash flow, some of them dollar bills. Anyway, moving right along. Diggs' defense presented multiple witnesses who worked for the former Patriot wide receiver and denied seeing any altercation between him and Adams. Diggs' chef of staff said that on the day in question, she saw Adams, who had no injury and did not appear upset. When I tell you this was a mess, it was a mess. While prosecutors tried to argue that Diggs and Adams had a complicated relationship, the defendant's attorney insisted that the alleged victim was looking for money and lying to the police. To that end, they pressed Adams on cross-examination about allegedly demanding first $19,000 and then a whopping $5.5 million from Diggs. A frustrated Adams tried to tell the jury that Diggs had offered her $100,000. Baby, she was over talking the attorney. She was just doing her best to get her story out there. Said he offered her $100,000 to recant her story. The judge scolded her and instructed the jury to disregard her comment. Disregard her. Order in the court is what he said. We have taken these allegations seriously from day one, and that's exactly why we were eager for the facts to come to light through the legal process, Diggs' attorney, Mitch Schuster, said in a statement to Court TV after the verdict. Professional athletes have a target on their back. When someone sees a uniform and a contract, they see leverage, they see a settlement, and they're counting on that pressure in the courtroom. In the court of public opinion to drive a default decision to settle regardless of the facts of the matter. The evidence has shown that we've maintained from day one Mr. Diggs was wrongly accused. And this case represents exactly the kind of opportunistic targeting that players can face the moment they step off the field. Diggs, who last played for the Patriots after signing a $69 million deal, was released by the team following their loss in the last Super Bowl, child. He remains a free agent. He has 6 consecutive 1,000-yard receiving seasons while playing for the Minnesota Vikings and the Buffalo Bills from 2018 until 2023. Baby, Stefan will find him another job. We're going to go over here, y'all. So Stefan has been found not guilty, child. I knew it would end that way. When that girl got up there and started fumbling and bumbling, and the trial was a mess, symmetry. When that girl started speaking in tongues as the spirit give utterance, I knew that it was over. I knew it wasn't going to last, because you have to make some sense when you're out here talking. But I want you to see what Stefan, excuse me, y'all, what he, that he actually shed a tear because his life was on the line. Whether or not this was true or false is strictly only 2 people know, right? But at the end of the day, if he was not guilty, then this young lady she probably should be held in perjury or something. Something should be done about it. But he did shed a tear. I'm not here for either one of them. I don't care either way it goes. I just feel like it's unfortunate that people play with each other's lives, whether or not, because I'm gonna show you what she got up there on the stand and said at one point.
To speak is entirely your decision. All I can say is that on behalf of the court and the parties, thank you again for your public service.
Upon your oath, you say that the defendant is...
He was shedding a tear after they said that he was not guilty. And I was trying to find the entire clip, but this one was faster, so I pulled this out for the YouTube.
Not guilty of the count of strangulation or suffocation, and not guilty of the count of assault and battery. So say you, Madam Forelady?
Yes.
So say all members of the jury?
Yes.
That was an emotional step.
Let me tell you something. You can't play with people's lives. Whatever that look like, you just can't do it. You just can not do it. This young lady, I'm not sure. Hey, that's me, AD. I'm not so sure if she even thought it through. I don't know how to answer that question without an explanation. I don't know how to answer that question without explanation. She would not answer a yes or no question. I know, I saw that in Symmetry. It was like, girl, are you serious? And it was crazy. Hey, Lady Run Chat, I think he is going to sue her for defamation, and he should. And he should. And you know what? He might ought to tag some of these YouTubers, these content creators in the process, because they've already, baby, when I say they done nailed this poor boy to the cross, he is nailed. I want you to listen to I just pulled a little clip from her, and then we're gonna move on into some more news stories. We're not gonna be down here all day, but this is actually Jamila Adams. She's a beautiful young lady. She really got real holy for the courtroom, but I saw some other pictures where she always dressed really pretty. She's a pretty girl. So let's go ahead and let's listen to what she had to say. Fair use. This is coming off of TikTok.
How would you characterize your relationship with Mr. Diggs?
I would say it's complicated.
How do you have a complicated relationship with your chef? Okay, let's go.
We had it started out as friends. It started out as friends, became sexual, and we would meet up.
Can I tell you that she pretty much blew her case wide open when she said it became sexual? Like, it just crumbled, because people do things having actual relations that other people don't. There's people doing some wild, kinky stuff right now while we sitting online chit-chatting with each other. There just is. You say, yes, I agree, starting with Tisa Tails. Keita B, I'm with you. Both hands up. I agree. She ain't the only one. You cannot prosecute people without having proper evidence. Just because you feel something don't make it right. Just because you feel something don't make it true. Child, let me get on back over here. Let's finish watching this here, because, baby, this girl is a mess. She probably needs to go seek a therapist. And I'll tell you what I feel about her when we get done.
Hang out. And we decided I would come work for him like February of 2025.
You start an extra relationship with him, then you decide you would go work for him. All right, we mixing business with a little pleasure, but look, I say that too. I get that.
She said February 2025, you and he talked about you working for him,
Yes.
and that's as a private. How would you characterize your relationship?
So she started work for him primarily around February of 2025. This incident supposedly happened around, I'm sorry, get over here, cursor, around December of 2025. I will tell you what I really truly believe. I really feel like this young lady had a relationship with Stefan, but she wasn't the only one. I believe there was text messages that were exchanged where she was sending messages to Cardi B, text messages where she was sending outright text messages to him. There was just a lot. So it happened the 2nd of December. Thank you, Symmetry. So she had worked for him, and I believe she was living in his house because she had a room in his home. So this young lady, I believe, became upset because she was not the main chick. She may have fallen in love. She may have fallen in lust. I'm not sure. But one thing I do know for sure is that she probably more than likely sealed her own fate with this court case. I'm not sure if she's going to try to file anything civilly, but child, I think this is over. This is over for her. Stefan won, and hopefully Stefan will be picked up by another team. Hopefully his reputation. He's a great football player. I'm going to put that out there. I believe he's a great football player. I have watched him play in person and on television, and I believe his talents are good. It's unfortunate that he has been entangled with a lot of incidents that have to deal with young women. I believe he needs to tame whatever that beast is inside of him that causes him to want to get out here and sow all the oats, not some of them, but all of the oats, spread his stuff all around. I think he needs to work on that. But other than that, child. Stefan, go in peace and sin no more, in the words of Jesus. Child, go out there and mind your business. Don't be fruitful and multiply. Go out there and mind your business and do what you're supposed to do. That means live your life and stay out of people. Stop messing with all the girls. Find you one girl that you want to be involved in. You said, I don't know. I think he has another case dealing with a male accuser. I think he does too. That's what I said. There's some other things that have popped up too. But I also believe that this was a big one. I think if he could beat this one, I believe she'll probably beat the other one. That's just my personal opinion. I don't have all the facts in front of me, but I will tell you this. I watched a show on HBO. I was probably late teens, early 20s. It's been years ago. I'll put it that way. It's been years ago. But this was a series that HBO was doing regarding a group of people who would flock to athletes. They followed these women, because it was primarily women, around the country, right? So these women would they showed them at the spa, getting their nails done, getting their hair done, getting their extensions, getting their feet done, out shopping on Rodeo Drive and at the malls, and having personal stylists, so on and so forth. And some would have 2 or 3 cell phones, and they would get calls saying, I'm just going to throw a name out there, right? And this is hypothetical, just going to throw a name out there. Michael Jordan is going to be in Dallas playing for the Mavericks. And they would get on a red eye to be in Dallas when Michael Jordan got off the plane. They would be waiting for him in the underground tunnels. There are women, I didn't even know this existed, but there are women who literally only go after athletes. And this was, like I said, this was my early 20s, late teens that I watched this on HBO. And if I can, I'm going to see if I can find it, and I will plug it into my post or something so that y'all can see it, if I can find the old series that HBO did. But the one thing I will say, even though those women have gotten older, you don't think they train some younger women? Because as it is, other women get into it. I have a friend that is into dominatrix. I'm just gonna put it out there. The one thing I asked, I was like, how did you get into that? I didn't even know she was a part of that. We just happened to be one night in London sitting at a bar, and this guy walks up and they start having this weird exchange, and I was between them, and I was like, hey, what was that? When the guy left, and she goes, oh, he's into, and I was like, who? What? Wait a minute, girl, I've been knowing you and I didn't know. And she said, yeah, I've been doing this for a while. So I asked her, how were you introduced to it? An older lady who was into it introduced her to it. She said, I've paid off my home. I've flown to Amsterdam. I've flown here. I've flown there. I've flown here. And men have flown me out here. And I'm like, wait a minute, girl. My mind was blown, because in my little green world, I didn't know this kind of things existed, right? So you think the older women, as they get older, they become madams or whatever you want to call them, and then they groom the younger generation to do exactly what they were doing. So these women who are chasing after these athletes, they're getting older, settling, getting them a family or relationship, and they're just grooming the next generation to do the exact same thing. Follow behind me and find you the next the next guy out here, and you got guys doing it too. It's not just girls anymore. It's guys doing the same thing, child. So that's that. I just thought that was super weird. Prayers for Stefan that this next case, that the truth will prevail, because that's the only thing we want. We don't care if he wins or lose. We want it to be the truth prevailing. That's it. Let the truth prevail. This young lady got out here, and baby, she was making it up as she go along, and she wasn't even doing a good job at that, because she couldn't even answer a question. So yeah, that's that. That is that. Next, let's talk about Ashley and Joe McCain. If you remember Ashley Robinson was a young lady who had flown to Zanzibar, Tanzania for her birthday, her 31st birthday. And while in Tanzania, she was engaged. She was proposed to by her boyfriend, then John McCain, while they were at Several Wildlife, and she was walking with the animals in the safari park. And somehow or another, they left that part, went to Tanzania, to Zanzibar, checked into a hotel, had an argument. And next thing we know, this young lady was no longer living. So that is the background on Ashley. Well, Joe has been kind of under a rock. We hadn't heard anything from Joe. Joe hadn't said anything until today. Joe popped out on the Twitter. He made a statement. This was pinned at 3:11 p.m. on today. It's already had 3,215 views. When I looked at it, it was only a few minutes old. So I decided I would come through because I thought it was worth the share. John pinned a comment that says, "There's no adequate words to describe the total devastation, emptiness, and shock I feel after losing my best friend, confidant, fiance, Ashley Janae Robinson. As a father myself, I am also heartbroken for Ashley's parents, Yolanda Indris and Harry Robinson. Ashley's death is incomprehensible. Is an incomprehensible tragedy. Devoted fans knew Ashley through her charismatic online persona, Ashley, but the person I love was Ashley. A woman embodied the virtues of compassion, empathy, kindness, generosity, and love. A nurturing presence. Ashley cared deeply for the people closest to her, which to my external gratitude included me. She fattened me up with her amazing cooking and had a great relationship with my kids. Each day, we shared both quiet moments of reflection and the many joys of being in love with each other. Ashley was a loving soul, so much so that she called herself a lover gal, as a homage to her Trinidadian roots, in which she took great pride. As Ashley desired most was to become a mother and to raise a family together. There's no question that she would have been an amazing mom. Ashley's talent extended well beyond her online persona. Ashley Janae. She was a creative genius, even writing, directing, and acting in her own short film. She was an incredible decorator, always making sure our home reflected the current holiday or season. Hosting was second nature to her, going above and beyond for the guests that we entertained. Ashley also had an encyclopedic knowledge of music, especially her favorite band, Aerosmith. Baby, that don't stop me in my tracks. Okay. She enjoyed techno and dancing, was learning to DJ and could rap too. Ashley was an angel who shined her light on everyone fortunate enough to be in her presence. There is no way to fill the unfillable void left by Ashley's passing, and no way to make sense of this unfathomable loss. All we can do is carry on Ashley's legacy of helping other people and strive to live up to her virtues every single day. Ashley, I love you forever, Joe. Child, I just thought I would share that with you. I already shared my thoughts on it, but it's neither here nor there. Hey, living for me, good evening. Just on the notification. You need to work on that. You have to work on your notifications, baby. You will have to work on your notifications. The next thing I want to bring you, and then I'm going to end this because I have got to do the review of Real Housewives of Atlanta because I got something to say. And I'm going to have to do the one on bail collectors. I don't have a whole lot to say about bail collectors. This is probably going to be a couple of minutes. Because, baby, they are not my cup of tea. I'm going to throw that out there. I just feel like it's something off with this cast, but that's neither here nor there. A young lady, did I share this? No, I did not. Let me share this. A young lady by the name of Athena Strads. A young lady, a child. She definitely was a child, was unalived. I want to say it happened in 2023, or was it 2024? Happened in 2022. I'm sorry. I knew it was a while ago. She was abducted by a FedEx driver by the name of Tanner Horner. Today, he was found guilty of her unaliving. I want you guys to listen to the courtroom as they bring him in for sentencing. This case was super sad. Super sad. This is happened in the city that I actually was born and grew up in. And it was sad. Sad to hear it even happen in this location. Fort Worth, Texas, Court TV, the man who confessed to unaliving 7-year-old Athena Strad will face the ultimate punishment after a jury sentenced him to not be on this earth any longer. Tanner Lynn Horner, 35 years old, pled guilty to aggravated kidnapping and capital murder in Althea's case as his trial was scheduled to begin. The case moved forward and the jury was tasked with determining Horner's punishment, whether that would be life behind bars or not being on this earth any longer. Jurors heard 16 days of evidence before taking less than 3 hours to deliver their verdict. They unanimously found there was probability that Horner would commit further acts of violence, constituting a continuing threat. They also unanimously found there was no mitigating circumstances that would save the defendant's life. Athea was playing outside of her home when she was abducted on November 30th of 2023. Horner, who was working as a third-party contractor delivering FedEx packages, admitted to abducting the child, but told detectives several stories that were proven false. Horner initially claimed that he hit Althea with the van and panicked during closing argument. He hit Althea with the van and panicked. During closing arguments on Tuesday, Horner's attorney suggested that Althea had caught him snorting cocaine in the trunk, prompting his panic. During the trial, prosecutors showed the jury disturbing evidence, including a photo showing Althea inside the van. Y'all, that picture is hunting. It is hunting because she's just standing there, probably not even realizing what her fate is. Before her murder, while investigators say he ultimately covered the van's cameras before Althea was unalive, the vehicle's microphone picked up everything. He said, "You're pretty. Take off your shirt. Take off your clothes." Prosecutors reminded jurors during the closing arguments, Horner was not charged with sexual assault, but prosecutors presented evidence that his DNA was found in the child's underwear, along with the incriminating audio from inside the van. Excuse me. Horner's defense had emphasized his difficult childhood and diagnosis of autism spectrum disorder in their bid to save his life. In their closing, prosecutors dismissed that argument. Thousands of people in this world have disabilities. Thousands of people in this world are autistic, he said, and they get up every day. They live their life. They work. They have families. They struggle. They succeed. They fail. But the one thing they never do is use it as a crutch. After the verdict was announced, Athea's uncle, Elijah Strand, addressed the defendant. "You will be judged. You will face the wrath of God." He said, "You are nothing. You are a footnote in Althea's story. Her name will forever be remembered. Her name will forever be celebrated, and everyone will forget you." Horner's confirmed to the judge that he would like an appellate attorney to be appointed to represent him. "Here's your prisoner," Sheriff Judge George Gallagher said before the defendant was led out of the courtroom. Y'all, to me, this is one of the saddest stories. But I will tell you this, justice prevail. Justice prevail. I've been watching this case since it happened, and I saw it on the news. And I will tell you this, justice prevailed today. It prevailed. It definitely prevailed in her case. Althea, rest in peace, baby. You did deserve that. They should have took his breath after the verdict. Ooh, living for me. I said the same thing when I was sitting in my room a few minutes ago, and I saw it flash across the news, across the TV as I was walking through. And I said, well, one good thing did happen today. She was a child, probably didn't even know what she was seeing. I'm sure she did. Just riding down the street with some random strange dude. That's why it's important to keep an eye on your kids. It's important to keep an eye on your grandkids. Child, I'm going to tell you this. Recently, my nephew, same age as I am, but he's still my nephew. He's my sister's child. He had a birthday party at a bowling alley, and I took my grandson, my littlest grandson, with me, and my daughter met me there. So my other nephew came in and he grabs my grandson out of my arms. And he's also his godfather. So he's hugging on him and they're talking and they're playing. And my brother comes in the door. So my brother takes my grandson and he's holding him in his arms. So we're just laughing and talking. But I had noticed how my grandbaby, whose arms he was going through. Like I'm noticing he's with him. Okay, he's with him. Then I look at my brother. My grandson's not in his arms. I look at my nephew and my grandson's not in his arm. And I immediately scream, "Where is?" And I scream his name out. And I take off running. I'm running down through this bowling alley trying to find my baby. And he comes from around these bowling balls because he'd been telling me the whole night, ball, ball. He comes from around these bowling balls and my heart just stopped almost. And I just burst out in tears. I cannot imagine what could have happened in those few seconds, because it was only a few seconds that he ran off to go find him a bowling ball. I couldn't imagine if someone had taken him. So keep your eye on your babies. Protect our children. We got to protect our babies if we don't do anything else. Keep an eye on these kids. Protect the babies. Protect the babies. Protect the babies. Today, justice prevail for Althea Strahan. And I pray for her family every single day that the Lord will wrap his loving arms of protection around them and give them peace. And that God will protect them, wrap his loving arms around everybody who's going through something right now. I share with you guys about a cousin who passed away earlier, Saturday morning. She was pregnant. Baby passed away as well. Keep them in your prayers. Keep them in your prayers. If no one told you today that they love you, I love you, and there ain't a thing you can do about it. I will see you guys in the next one. Let me get in here and get ready to make these reviews. Bye-bye.